Good morning, fellow option traders. Welcome to the Daily Scan for Monday, August 11th, 2014. Let's take a look at a recap of last week. All that we had here was productivity and costs. And, they were expecting 1.4 and they had 2.5, so I guess that was a good sign, a good report, and the market responded accordingly. Today is the 11th. We have nothing going on today. Really nothing tomorrow. And then it starts, Treasury budget. We get to find out how much in the hole the government was for July, I believe. So we'll take a look at that one on Wednesday during that video. And then on Wednesday, things start to pick up a little bit more and kind of a busy Friday. Okay, let's take a look across the ponds. Asia, wow, hot mama's over in Asia. We're up over 1% almost across the board, and in Europe pretty much the same story, definitely over 0.5% all across the board. So you can expect probably pretty much the same thing here. What do you think? Are we going to see the same thing here? Yes, we are, pretty much. Looks like as though we're going to open up pretty solid. Not too good for all the negative delta that I have here. But we'll just have to see how that works out. Okay, gold is trying to keep its nose above the 1300 mark here, and oil is at 97.72, still pretty low, but nothing real exciting. Gas prices, they're not very much interested in anything. So I was looking at the overnights at the indexes. And if you take a look here, just take a look at, it's here. It's getting sync. There we go. Big bump up midday on Friday, and a slight pullback in the afternoon, and then drifting higher overnight. And I'll bet you see the same thing on the ES. Yep. Not the sell-off that we saw on the NASDAQ, but on the S&P 500, drifted higher towards the close and is drifting higher now. This is starting, last night, I guess, at 6 o'clock or so, when the futures open on Sunday night, and they are drifting higher. And TF, we'll take a look at that one. We have vested interest in S&P 500 and TF. This one looks a lot like the NASDAQ, a little bit of a sell-off after the big move, and then drifting higher overnight. I like that drifting higher. That sounds pretty good. Okay, so the big thing for this morning should be Priceline. They have earnings, don't they? They just do this earnings stuff really weird. On 8/11 before the market. So Monday morning before the market opens. Alright, so what's going on with them? Let's see, I want to get just a single chart here. And I want one that shows me what's going on overnight. And we can't really tell anything until they actually do announce their earnings. There was no trades yet today on that one. Okay. Let's see here. Let's start with, first of all, I want to talk about last week. Last week's results are not going to be good, and exactly how bad they are, I don't know yet. I didn't run the numbers yet. We had kind of a busy weekend. Enjoyed it immensely. The weather here has been really nice. It's a little dry right now, but that's okay. It's August. So I enjoyed the weekend thoroughly and didn't get to run the numbers yet, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to be good. So we have to recenter ourselves and get back to following the rules and try to keep emotions out of the trading. With that in mind, Friday, I believe I might have entered this Chipotle and Google trade. We'll take a look. I don't have my phone over here right now. I can go get it though. Hang on. Yes, Friday was Baidu and Google. We'll take a look at those. But like I mentioned, looking at this possible open here, which it has pulled back a tad since we first looked at it, I have a lot of negative delta here. So I wanted to just briefly talk about, let's take a look at SPX. We'll go back to the charts again, and this time I'm going to grab a, let's see here, one without a study, and then I'm going to back out all the way. Okay, I wanted to talk, let's look at this drifty thing here. The point is we want to just look at the price action on the S&P 500 just as a talking point. When the market moves up, people want to get in on the stocks. They either want to add to it or just get in the market initially. So when there's a desire, I mean, this is pretty much common sense. I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but there's a desire that people are willing to pay a little bit more than what the current price is in order to get in, especially on, like moves like this. And conversely, when there's a desire to get out of the stock, people will want to get out immediately. And the buyers, and there has to be a buyer and a seller in order to have a transaction. So the buyers are saying, well, how bad do you want to get rid of this stock? Or how bad do you want to get rid of this item? So what happens, obviously, is that you're going to take less money for it. How much less depends on how badly you want to get out. Or it also depends on what your buyer wants to pay for it. And, the opposite is true when you want to get in. So let's say that, the iPhone, well, let's not talk about the iPhone because those are kind of fixed prices. Let's talk about a yard sale or something like that. If you go in there and you can sense that you can probably get some pretty good prices. If there is a price marked on the item, you're probably going to say, well, if you want to sell this stuff, I could probably get it for a little bit less. On Craigslist, and when you're buying cars or whatever. And you all know how it works. So that's why when price moves down, you get these sharp moves down. And when price moves up, it generally, I use the term drift. Some of these are not drifts. Some of these are rocket ships. But for the most part, it just kind of drifts higher. And that's what's happening overall in the market. And that's what's always going to happen in the market. No matter what. It will not always move down. It's going to always move up. No matter what you do. You're going to have periods of... let's go here and just take a look here. Daily. Let's go back 10 years on them weekly. So you're going to have these times like this like we had back in 2007, where it's going to crash basically, but it's going to always want to drift higher, always. So that's the purpose of it. I mean, why have it if it's not going to move up? If it's just going to go wiggle, 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 then it's not going to work. It's not going to be a good market. You might as well just close it up. So you always are going to want this to happen. And when there's big money involved, there's going to be profits involved. That's just the way of the world. I don't care what kind of economy you call it, if it's communistic or fascist or whatever. You know, if it's a republic, if it's a democratic society, or whatever, prices are always going to want to go up. So that's my little lesson. All right, we're at the 10-minute mark. Now, I don't know, what was I trying to say there? Well, what I was trying to say was, I'm always afraid myself. I'm always afraid that the market's going to go down. So I want to be ready for it, because that's where the big money is made. But there's money to be made at the rest of the market too. As the market drifts higher, it just doesn't come in as big a chunks. So here's my attitude, thinking without actually looking and seeing what is really happening, thinking that the market's going to move down, thinking that we are going to have a crash, thinking that we're going to have a correction, thinking that we're going to have a black swan, all thinking that, but it's not happening. It's just not happening, because look, yeah, there's a little bit of a yank back here, but for the most part, higher, higher, higher. And it doesn't matter how long of a time frame you look at it, it just keeps going up. So am I bullish now? Does that mean I'm a bullish person? No, that means I look at the charts, and I read the charts for what they're actually telling me. And that's what I need to get regrounded in. So this is a little bit of a, I guess, a confession. You know, I've been thinking about this because last week was pretty kind of devastating. I think that it's going to surprise me how bad it really was. I have a number in my head, and I'm trying to tell myself that it's not true, but it probably is. So keep that in mind in your trading. So here we are on SPX, and with an expiration of this Thursday night, are we going to stay below this? I don't know. Today's going to threaten it. And it's probably going to turn what was a semi-profitable trade at $2.50 into a loser. And the rest of these too. So a little bit concerned about that. Okay, now, new attitude. I wanted to show you one other thing too. I didn't have it in here. I've been getting a lot of questions on PPS and why, if I use it anymore, and if I don't, why I don't. And I think the reason why I don't is because I found that pretty much just kind of lags the indicators that I'm using right now. But I wanted to add it anyway, and we'll see how it works out, how it compares. So what I do is I shut off this slow average and I shut off this fast average. Now if you have a platform other than Thinkorswim, you don't have this particular indicator. This was John Person, I think his name is. This is a Person pivot study, or it's just called PPS on the Thinkorswim platform. Let's see what it says here about it. Person's pivot study, and you can read here about it, find more about it, maybe how he actually calculates it. But it was something that I used to use in the past exclusively for a while. But then, you know, like I said, it's kind of a lagging indicator. So we'll add it to our daily chart, and this is it here. This is saying go short, this is saying go long. So when you see an up arrow, it's time to go long, but you see it, the arrow, you don't really know if it's there or not until the end of the day. And then if you get in the next day, it'd be a good trade for about 3 days. But how does it match up with this? Well, look what the MACD and the stochastic are telling us is that we should get in on this candle. Instead, person pivot is waiting almost 3 days to tell you to get in. So, you know, if you want to, we'll take a look at how it works going forward. So right now it's telling us to go short, and the Option Guru, the CSSV2 indicators actually are saying, they didn't say, they said not to get in, but they're actually saying here to get out if you're long, which is 2 days before a person's pivot says to get out. Alright, so I just thought I would throw that in there. Alright, so if I had followed this on Apple, we would be doing just fine, but we had this earnings in here, and earnings can hose things up. So now we're settled down, and now we're ready to get back to reality. Okay, so Apple, actually we have, this is not alertable because we had some violations in here. I was going to say, maybe we may have an alertable trade here, but we had some dirt. Things got messed up, a little murky here, conflicting signals as we're on our way down here. So this is not this type of deal where you dip down and then you hook back up. That's what we're looking for, sharp momentum moves. Not this, I'm not sure, I'm sure. Okay, maybe I'll go up. So we're not going to take that trade. Amazon, nothing going there. Person says get in. But we really have nothing going on there from the CSSV2 indicators. Baidu, we're in here and doing fairly decently. Person says stay out or go short, stay short. So we're staying short on that. So they both match up. This is the one that I got in on Friday, and it was based on this hook here. So we got in right around here. I got in on the 78-minute chart, the intraday indicator. We'll see if that works out or not. Chipotle, we're still okay with that. It looks like as though it might be a good one looking over here. Person says stay long. Of course, if you got in over here or the next day, you would still be okay if you were long. Okay. Costco. Waiting for a hit on our target down here. You would think that after a candle like that we would have something helpful here. Like it just started to rain. We need to rain. We need to move down here. It may not get all the way down there. Let's take a look at the Dow. Nice punch up on Friday. Still staying within this channel. We'll see if it can hold or not. Gold, I was hoping to be able to do something here, but still need it up here around 128, 129 before I do anything with that covered call, which the short call is going to expire this Friday. Google jumped in on Friday on this one based on this hook here. So this is where, buy any pullback, it's a Tom Sosnoff kind of move here. So I did 3 at 40 cents. So we'll see if that channel will hold on Google. LinkedIn, still up in the stratosphere, still waiting for it to come down. NDX, not in on that one at all. Probably wouldn't be such a bad idea here to take a look at a possible bull put in that 20 delta column. Netflix, right, we're not in on anything right now. Netflix, I am going to, this one hurt me. That one really hurt. Going to remove all drawings. Didn't I say remove all drawings? Maybe I didn't. Okay. All the drawings are gone now. Alright. So we're starting out from scratch, and we want a target down here. Price line. Earnings this morning should be fun. We'll take a look at that. Russell, we're up here, 3 of them at $1.10. If the channel holds, we should be good. We'll see if that holds. SPX. Alright, we're in up here. We don't really have a channel drawing. Person says stay short. Of course, that's from up here. Alright, probably wouldn't hurt to condorize this. I think I might do that because that would be a cheap trade. Take a look at it anyway today. Tesla, I want to condorize Russell too. Tesla, alright, we have our target set down here, and last but not least is Visa. We definitely are in a downtrend that won't even come up here and give us a chance to get in. Alright, so we will watch the person pivot from now on and see how it compares. Alright, that's really it for today. A little bit of a confession of sorts, and we're getting back to basics. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.